Hey guys, watch my new bike trick. Whoa!
Accidents happen. When they do, LaPorte Hospital can help you get on the road to recovery faster. With our 30 minutes or less ER service pledge, we will work to have you initially seen by a medical professional in 30 minutes or less. Less waiting, faster care. The 30 minutes or less ER service pledge at LaPorte Hospital. During a medical emergency, every minute matters. That's why, at LaPorte Hospital, you'll find less waiting where you need it most, in our emergency room. In fact, we will work to have you initially seen by a medical professional in 30 minutes or less. And because we're a full-service hospital, we can provide more care if you need it. Less waiting, faster care. The 30 minutes or less ER service pledge at LaPorte Hospital.
I had the cameras turned on and it went right to me. I went, ah!
Yeah.
Everybody, 1, 2, 3,
blow
ah!
yourself
1, 2, 3,
kiss.
ah!
How funny.
Happy Friday. Welcome to Younger Life Live. It's Veterans Day 2016,
It is
ladies.
Veterans Day, yep.
It's a good day to be alive. Thank you to all of our veterans. God bless America. I'm throwing the big G in it because I can. And to all those men and women that were out there that have fought, that have given the ultimate sacrifice, we thank you. The families, too. A lot of the families go through a
absolutely.
lot of
I
crazy
don't
stuff.
think someone can be successful in the military without the support of their family.
Agree.
Because it really does. It's challenging all the way around, and the family, has to be supportive if that's what your loved one chooses. But your loved one, to be okay there and stay focused on what they want, need to know that the family backs them up. So
Absolutely.
it's good. It's good, and it's a good day. It's a good week that Veterans Day falls today, and that we can be great. All those that have fought for our country to give us the right to vote and the right to voice our opinions, with all the ugliness it's over. And I'm really anxious for all of the, and we've had enough of that, and
It's
you
freedom of
see
speech,
it's
people.
everywhere. Yeah. It's freedom of speech,
Right.
but there's still a limit. I feel like people are entitled to voice their opinions, good or bad, but it's been such an ugly road,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
I agree.
and it's taking such an ugly turn that I'm ready for that to
Yes.
stop. And we have that right due to our veterans. I think it's
Can I tell
important to
you?
point out.
And we are taking the right turn today on this beautiful Veterans Day 2016 when we welcome back to Younger Life Live. Back there,
We
young
have
Mary.
Katie Sarver, one of our best pals.
Thank you.
We
What an amazing
we
welcome.
love
Here, guys. Thanks. It's always fun. The energy is fabulous. And
Thank you.
I have a great day. Yeah, the whole day is a good day.
Oh, I love hearing that. We
So-
love when you're here. And today we've got a great topic. We're talking about. So
Yes.
that is so many things too. It really is.
is.
It really is a very
Absolutely.
broad topic, and a lot plays into that. It isn't necessarily, the moving around, although that is key. But it's so much down to our relationships with our coworkers and stuff.
Got it.
So
You've got it. And it's a huge passion of mine. So I've worked in corporate wellness for a little over 10 years. And so I have a passion for it, of course, because otherwise I probably wouldn't be doing it. But just amazing to be able to see start to develop healthier habits. And we spend more time at work than we do at home. And the majority of us, I should say, not everybody, but the majority of us spend more time at work than we do at home. And we can be healthy at home, but if we're missing out on that healthy piece at work, then we might be failing in keeping ourselves healthy for the long term. So
Do you find, I mean, obviously you're involved with this, you've been doing this for a long time, and I think I want people, as Mary and I want people to focus, absorb, and maybe try something different. Do you find that you might have your family involved with your groove, your routine, but at work, all things go?
you got
You know what
it.
I'm saying?
You throw in the fact of, let's have a lunch meeting today, and we're going at a restaurant that. Okay, sure. Yeah, I can set. I'm eating that greasy cheeseburger and having that Coke, and then I'm going to have a milkshake.
Yeah.
By the way,
Dessert.
don't forget Mama Mama's apple pie. With ice cream.
yeah,
Yeah,
a la mode.
yeah.
Right?
I'll be better this weekend. Yeah. figuring out the balance between how am I healthy at home and how can I bring that with me into the workplace. And of course, you don't always have to say no to the cheeseburger or no to the
Absolutely.
French fries, because I do have this 80-20 rule where
Yep.
80% of the time you better be good or you do your best.
I'm
And
with
then-
you.
yep.
I'm with
And
you.
then 20% of the time indulge in those things, because that's part of life. You know,
It is.
it's all part of it, but we have to have a good balance there. So
It is the realistic part. I think that,
Yes.
I think that's what discourages a lot of people from a healthy change, whether it is the, stopping smoking like we talked about.
Right.
They have a slip up or a weak moment and then they throw it all out the window.
Yes.
Same
Oh,
thing
yeah.
with any diet or exercise plan. You get off track one day and you think, I have to start. Okay, forget it. I'm going to wait now. I'll start next week. But it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be
No,
that way.
it
It can
doesn't.
still be the same day. So what? You
Exactly.
made a bad choice. Oh, well,
Yeah.
we do. That is part of real life. That's
Or
part
that
of
everything in
sticking.
moderation kind of group.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's real, and
Mm-hmm.
to stick with it and keep those healthy habits as part of your life. You've got to know you're gonna fall every now and then.
yeah. Well, and it's amazing to me in my health coaching hearing people say, "Well, I'll start on Monday." And then Monday comes and goes.
I'm
I'll start on
notorious.
Next Monday.
I'm notorious for
why
that.
not start why can't you start on a Friday? What's the difference if
Yeah.
you're starting on a Friday and starting
Right.
on a Monday? It's still a new week. If
Yeah.
you look at it as
It is.
so, and it's just a change, and it's new.
for that. My
You
best
realize
friend and
that
I have done
everybody-
that. I can't even tell you how many
Everybody at
times.
the same time that you said that, I was saying inside my head, that's so
Oh, there
me.
were so many things.
So me, too.
Oh, so many things. When we were younger, we'd say, okay, we're gonna Monday. We're
Right.
gonna start. We're gonna
start.
start meeting and walking every morning.
Can you
Or-
pass the cake?
It's Sunday. I better make sure I overindulge since
Right,
tomorrow
right.
I'm
Oh my
starting,
gosh,
which
yeah.
is
You're
a
right.
huge
Yes.
mistake.
I think the majority of us are probably guilty of that.
Yes.
all
Absolutely.
the time.
Yeah, at some
So,
point,
yeah.
I think it, and in any of the bad habits that we
Yes.
have. So,
yeah. But if you're
I
going to
do think
start
it's-
on a Monday and you say, I'm starting on Monday, then Sunday should be your prep day where you're prepping all your food in advance.
Oh, see,
you're
that's-
getting
that's
everything
good.
ready for the week ahead, because then you can't fail. Like
Yeah.
I've already prepped all my salads through Thursday,
Yeah.
or
Right.
I've already prepped all my breakfast oatmeal packs through,
Yeah.
through Friday morning or whatever. That right there is a big thing to the success. It's that pre-prep.
Is that
You know-
organization?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think you really just hit on something that's so important. No matter the bad habit. My own self, it's always trying to healthier. I'm going to eat healthier. I'm going to watch what I eat more,
Yes.
or try to adopt a more. I mean, we're very active, but try to a more regimented workout
Oh,
thing.
absolutely.
And
Yeah.
inevitably, it ends up altering, over time. But the preparation, I think, is key in any change you make. Because once you get yourself in that mindset, it isn't just to start Monday or whatever, like you said. The prep work is what takes so long sometimes
Sure.
to get ready for, just say you're going to be running around the day and you don't want to have to go through fast food. So it's easier to make sure you prep, that's
Right.
so key.
Yes.
And it does take a little bit of forethought and a little bit of planning. And sometimes we lack that motivation.
Can
to
I
do
tell you what it
but
takes? Mass discipline.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
For me, cutting up.
It does.
My
Yeah.
situation with, I'm religious about cooking my butternut squash on the grill for vegetables. Then I put in there some great things, and then I'll make a giant amount of it, and we can eat as side veggies
Oh,
with
absolutely.
whatever I prepare.
Sure.
But I can eat that stuff massively. But then what I do is I take it, I put it in my little containers, and I know that I got this for lunch. I take with me.
Yes.
Dinner's a little different because
Oh,
I'm doing it
sure.
fresh and off the grill.
Right.
Even
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
But you
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. Yeah. And it's little things so I pack where the kids go to school, they don't have lunch served there. Okay. So we pack a lunch every single day. And when I go to the grocery store and if I buy crackers or something, goldfish, something like that, I do my best to automatically, when I get home from the store, put them into baggies and put them in the pantry. So that if they come home from school and they say, I want a snack or I want this, well, you can go in there and you can pick one thing and it's already divvied out. Because so often
Serving
do we
size kind,
stick
yeah.
our hand in a box and
Oh,
eat and eat and eat.
absolutely.
And by the time we're done, over half or 3/4 of that box or that bag or whatever. Yeah. And then
Very
you're like,
true.
I overate and
then you
yeah,
don't wanna eat
got
dinner.
food belly. Yeah, exactly.
Food
So
belly.
Yeah, it's very true. It happens to
Yes.
it happens as an adult. I try
Oh,
really hard
yes.
to not just grab a bag of, a bag of chips or something. I try to put like a handful out on a plate.
Yep.
Or something, because otherwise it's too easy to just keep going and you think, oh, how many did I just
Right,
eat?
exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Did I
Pull
just
that back
finish
up,
that off?
Yeah.
You know, it can be.
Kids, where did that go?
Yeah. Did you do that?
Yeah.
It could not be
Jeremy, it wasn't me.
I know for sure.
It's funny in my house, the kids always blame my husband. Poor Jeremy.
Oh my gosh,
You know, if they
that's
go to
too
look
funny.
for something, and he's typically guilty. He'll say it. 'Cause
Yeah, this is the guy, of course.
He'll
you're blaming.
typically take it to
I
work.
love it.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
they'll
yeah.
say, where are those cookies you bought? And I'll say, I don't know. They were up there. And, Dad took them to work. You know what I mean? It's always, poor Dad always takes the heat.
Well, and then in our house, it's Jason always says, I don't know what I'm allowed to eat because I know you buy things for the kids for school lunches and for your own lunches. And so I'm just going to steer clear because he's always like, I'm hungry. What can I have for a snack? Look in the pantry.
Yes.
I don't know
Wow.
what I can. Yeah.
I get that too. That's what my wife says to me. That was like a, oh my, at my house.
Yeah.
Look in the pantry.
Right.
Yes, it's right there. Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
there's fruits and there's, you know what? And I find too, whether it's fruits, whether it's, you know, different things. I love things like the dried mangoes or, you know,
sure.
like, or
Yeah.
that I
dried
love.
fruits.
The dried fruits and the dried, I don't know if these are great for you, but the banana chips.
Oh, sure.
I'd rather have
They're
those.
still good for you. Yeah.
Are those pretty good for you? you think?
They're not. I mean, they're better than a candy bar for sure.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that.
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, those sorts of things. And we encourage like packing up trail mixes. You know, make your own trail mix at home. You add nuts. You can add a little bit of multigrain Cheerios.
Yeah.
You can add some of those dried fruits, and even they make dried vegetables now too. So there's beets and
Oh,
there's
really?
green beans
Yeah.
and there's peas.
I did
You
not-
can
I
add
did not know
in.
that.
Yeah.
Are they
yeah.
good?
So I like them, but
Really?
they're kind of some of them are seasoned with different
Oh,
seasonings.
okay.
I will
And
do
so
that.
yeah, so you can get one with that's like a Cajun seasoning or
Yeah.
whatever.
I'll do that.
As long as your salt intake isn't, in there. You
Certainly.
want to check those things. But
Yeah,
yeah.
because that was the first thing I thought. What
Some
you
of them are
just said.
so full of sodium. Yeah, it tastes.
You know.
You know, even my
Yeah.
kids are not crazy about dried fruits. Believe it or not, my kids love fruit.
I love fruit.
We eat a lot of fruit and
I like
vegetables.
dried fruit better, though.
But they don't. They're not crazy about dried fruit.
Well,
and I think it's the
wonder if 'cause
texture.
the texture, and it's a little bit sweeter too. So
Oh,
I
that
made these
could be.
fabulous granola bar type things last night. It just had dates and cashews in it, okay? And so
Okay.
you had to put it in a food processor, which was quite comical in and of itself because
Yeah.
I forgot that I had this food processor at home, so we used the blender instead. And here's my husband, like, what are you doing? So he's trying to help me, and the kids are eating the dates out of the package, just like,
Aw.
and the two boys loved them. The girls are, whatever. But at the end, I mean, it's a super healthy snack. It tastes like a cookie bar. It is.
So what?
Really?
So what happens? So you got cashews.
You have
and-
cashews and you have dates.
And then what do you do?
And then you put them in the food processor, process them down. Then they blend all together, and then you roll it out and cut it into bars. And
That's
store it
easy?
in your fridge.
No
That
water,
easy.
no
water, no
I'm
nothing.
trying to think,
yeah,
wow.
nothing
It's
else.
that
Just
good.
those two, and we
That
loved
I'd
them.
like to
Yeah.
try.
So kept them in our fridge, and then I threw one in with lunches today because they said we want that as like a little treat for after
Yeah.
we finish all of our lunches.
You're like-
Absolutely.
I'm
Yeah.
curious just because I want
That
to
is
see
awesome.
what your mom opinion on lunches too. I feel my kids are big eaters. All my kids are really.
Yeah.
So I feel like when we pack lunch, I know that they're eating more, and at least it's more well balanced. I mean, I
Correct.
think our
Yes.
schools do a fabulous job, but I also know my kids, even if they get a well-rounded tray at lunch, they're gonna pick what they want.
Oh,
Right,
exactly.
yes.
I think we
So
all
at least
do.
at home, I
Yes.
mean, I would too, but at least at home when we pack it, I know it's things that they like.
Mm-hmm.
But I always pack a little sweet for my kids. They have to have a sandwich or protein of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they like just sliced turkey and stuff like that, which is fine.
Oh, sure.
But like that carving board turkey is fabulous, and it's
I know
very
exactly.
convenient,
Yep.
and it's nice and easy
Sure.
for those that don't necessarily want a full sandwich. But fruit, a vegetable, a sweet and a salty. Because I always say I don't tell them don't eat sweet or salty. We're going to eat it,
Right.
But it's incorporated into our normal, So my girls are old enough to pack their own lunches. They have to do that, but they have to pack. Those are the things they have to pack: sandwich or the meat by itself, and fruit, vegetable, sweet, salty.
Yeah.
And they just know it. It's funny. I love to watch them when they don't know that I'm paying
What are we gonna put
attention.
in? Aw.
Just to watch them, just see if they do it on their own without me
absolutely.
Do they
nagging.
do it pretty decent?
They do a great job.
Good
I have
job,
to say
Mom.
too. We had some, every now and then I buy snacky cakes, which I'm not a big fan of, but a few of the kids love them, and so many of them come two in a package, and I think you don't need two.
You're right.
And this
Yeah.
morning I watched my 11-year-old pack her lunch. She was doing a great job. She did sandwich, fruit, vegetables first, put some pretzels in a bag, and then I watched her like look through our sweet bin and decide on like, you know what a zebra cake is?
Oh,
There's
yeah.
2 in a package.
Yes.
There's 2 in there. And normally that's not a typical thing I buy either. I do not like them at all. They love them and beg for them, and that's a treat every now and then. I watched her look at it, and she opened it, took one out and put it in a baggie, put the other one in a baggie, put that back in there.
Love
and I
it.
thought, I
You're
didn't
like,
say a
yes.
word to her. And I thought, that is
That's
good.
awesome.
At least I
Yeah.
feel like she's getting it
Yeah.
on her
Yeah.
own a little bit,
Yeah.
and that's
Establishing a
good
good
to
habit.
know.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
good
Yeah.
habits. Because I know I don't always lack that. I do lack that control occasionally.
Oh,
Not with
sure. You
those.
want the
I
two.
don't like anything
Right.
like
Yeah,
that.
that stuff I
That's
can't
never been my
stand, right.
weakness. Even
Right.
as a kid, I
Yeah.
did not like those
No.
things.
It's
As
always
an
gonna dry and
as an adult, honestly, I would probably like it
Right.
because
Water.
I would probably say, "Ooh, that might be good," but
Right.
I don't ever want to taste any of those anymore because I know I didn't like them before.
I
I don't need another bite.
I headache,
Yeah.
but I mean that's the first thing what Katie said about you put it in your mouth, all of a sudden you're like, oh, you start choking because it's so dry.
I don't know,
And back in your
I
throat,
just-
the cake, I'm like, oh.
You know, even like you can buy brownies and stuff, and
Sure.
and they come. There's 2 in there. I mean, it's one package.
Oh, okay.
When I make them on a snack plate, what I typically do is, you know, when we talk about the prep work, it's funny. My kids love fruit, but also I don't want to say they're lazy, but they're less inclined to grab an apple. But if I slice that apple up, boy, they eat it in a second. And
Sure.
so,
Yeah.
you know, they'll go for the grapes or the berries or the
love
banana, something
grapes.
that's very easy. That's
Right.
already like, you know, already cut up kind of,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
So a lot of times like the snack cakes or the brownies and stuff,
Sure.
and then with fruit, you know, and
Yeah.
and
There
they
you go.
love that, and that's
Yeah.
like the perfect balance. And
Right.
then I guess they don't notice that it's so dry, but even every now and then when I'm cutting those things up, I think they smell good, or
Right.
not even just that one, any of the gross things
Sure.
like that. I think it might smell good, but man, I definitely don't need another bad habit as an adult,
Right.
so I don't. I don't go there, but still.
What's that saying with like 1 minute on the lips is like
Oh, a
lifetime
pound
on the hips? or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
You know, where
Tino, I have to
that
say this,
sticks in
and
my
this is
head.
so mean, but I had an OB tell me that once, which I thought was really mean. An OB doctor when I was pregnant said, "You need to remember, a moment on the lips is a
lifetime
on the hips."
That's what it is.
Isn't that mean?
Isn't
I
that
said,
mean?
And then
You
you want
talk-
to cry because your hormones
When you're
are
talking
all-
to a pregnant person who is hormonal and already every time you go in, you know, and you're gaining weight because
yeah.
you're. And that was a terrible thing. I
The
thought.
dreaded
I thought that
scale,
was so
Katie.
mean. He's since retired, and I'm
Yeah,
thankful
he's
that
retired.
he needed to because I thought that was really mean.
Oh
and actually, in labor, he called me a baby, and I thought that was. I thought.
Do you realize
never-
all the
It's just
emotions
sweet.
all these years later are coming out?
Right.
We're going to have a meltdown,
I'm gonna
ladies
get
and
him.
gentlemen.
I'm gonna get him 20 years later. Not really 16. He's my first. It was my first too, so I was
Oh,
really.
that makes it harder. Yeah,
really-
I'm gonna do some coaching on you later.
You're gonna tell me it's okay. And that lifetime of that cookie on the hips is not that big of a
Yeah.
deal. If I needed
So-
that
My
pregnant.
goodness, right, exactly.
That's
exactly.
funny. Yeah. So I mean, we realize that good habits are
Yes.
important to
Yeah,
establish, but
and, yeah, and going back to the whole prepping for work, you know, that's a big thing. And so, and not even just that, you know, so we were talking earlier when we first started the show, it's not just about the exercise, it's not just
Right.
about the food, it's about, you know, healthy relationships with coworkers and everything else.
Yes.
And, you know, so thinking of those things, like what can I do while I'm in the office in order to ensure that, you know, I'm keeping myself healthy. And, you know, a lot of things like coming to mind for me are, do you sit in a desk all day long staring at a computer or, you know, writing or whatever the case may be? A lot of us have sedentary jobs, unfortunately. And so the most important thing that you can do is take a break every once in a while, even just for to take exhale out. And the number of like just reassuring thoughts essentially that can come to you during that one quick breath is amazing.
Yeah.
And how it can completely change. And you know, getting if you're sitting, standing up and sitting down, you know, 5-10 times, you know, turn your computer screen off. You don't have to reboot your computer. That
Right.
way, you press the button, sit in your chair, stand up, sit down, stand up, and I'm going to do that, you know, 5-10 times, and then I'm going to start it back on. I've now gotten my blood flowing
Yes.
again.
That's it.
You know,
Yes.
do you know what the recommendation is for that? Is it every 30 minutes?
It's generally every 30 minutes.
Just
of
try to,
sitting. Yeah,
you know,
try to
make
get up
some
and
movement.
get some movement. So even if that means I've got to make a quick phone call to my, you know, cubicle mate that's 5 cubes down, put the phone down,
Go.
stand up, and go.
Yes,
you know?
absolutely.
And I think that
Absolutely.
we get to that point of, well, what's more efficient for us?
Uh-huh.
Well, but how much more can you actually accomplish if you just quickly walk down there, say what you need to say, and quickly walk back? 'Cause you've
Can I
stepped
tell you?
away.
And it's funny because we all stand up. So when I do the radio TV thing, no matter what time, I have for all my life, my professional life, I like it. It keeps me going. But I also feel you get back a little juice, a little energy.
Oh,
if you
sure.
have to sit down, you know what I'm saying? If you're sitting down and you get up, all of a sudden you feel like
Yes.
everything is opened up. Maybe your blood
You're more
is
awake.
rushing.
Well,
Yeah.
your blood is moving
Seriously.
more,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
is important. The you know, it's perfect when you bring up efficiency. I feel like, you know, we strive to be as efficient as we can, and you know, to multitask where we can, and we think by doing a phone call and finishing something on the screen, you know, oh, we can't stop, but that's not always good for us. Multitasking is a good thing,
Sure.
but not constantly. That you have to be moving. I mean, you know, you're at increased risk of blood clots, of all kinds of things when you sit for such long periods of time.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I would imagine even if you were standing still. I mean, we are not a still bunch,
Right, no.
But if you were
We
to
used
be
our hands a
standing
lot
still,
too, right?
you know, it's good,
Yeah.
to be moving. You need to
Yes.
have that
Oh,
blood
yeah.
going. And
Yeah.
I love that you point out the deep breath thing. That is
Yeah.
perfect. And we do get in the habit. I mean, I've been guilty of it, of, you know, being at a desk job and calling the neighbor. That's literally a
next to
second
you.
away.
Yes,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
The next
Yes.
cube over where you could literally go, hey, can you? It's
Right,
like, no, Hey,
exactly.
listen,
Or get up
Yeah.
and
Yes.
walk
Oh,
over.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
you know.
we're
so-
all guilty of that. I mean, I think it was last week, I was working on something. I had printed something off on the printer that's in one of my colleagues' offices, and I called her and said, could you bring that to me?
Oh.
Because I'm like right in the middle of doing this, and as she brought it, I was like, why did I not just get
Yeah.
up? Like, this
Yes.
is ridiculous. Because it's all that where you just think to yourself, I can't leave this project. I can't,
Yeah.
you know, I'm in the
Agreed.
heat of it.
Yeah.
But so often do we forget that seconds and we come back, we've refocused our thinking.
That's it.
We are ready
Yes.
to put our best down by. You just totally forget about the energy that you really should be putting into it. And so, yeah, I think that that's one really big thing, you know, to focus in on. The other thing is that how often do you walk into an office and you see a giant bowl of candy?
This is such
Oh.
a great point.
Yes.
Yes, we
Yes.
see that.
So there was
Sorry, do we have a bowl over here at Younger Life Live?
right? There's a department at LaPorte Hospital that shifted their candy bowl to a fruit bowl.
Oh, I like
Really?
that.
And so then I think people were colleagues in that department were not required, but if you wanted to bring in some fruit
Oh,
to
certainly.
share,
Sure.
it always stayed full. And they commented so much on how it was so much better. That fruit bowl was always getting emptied, you know. And yeah, they still had, I think, a small bowl of candy occasionally for people if you needed something. But they said it did the same thing, and it was a lot healthier. And we found that, you know, you weren't constantly going to just grab
Yeah.
something out of boredom or
Well, I
whatever
think
the
a lot
case
of
may
times,
be.
even, you know, when it is candy, it isn't because you're needing that candy. It's literally just, it's a habit. Munchies, and it doesn't matter at that point if you're munching on grapes
Right.
or an apple,
Yeah.
or you're munching on candy, or you're munching on a handful of pretzels. You're just looking to munch. So,
Exactly.
you know, at least
Yeah.
if you're munching in a healthier fashion, I think that's genius. You know, that brings up a very good point I wanted to kind of talk about when we're talking about wellness in the workplace. Especially this time of year, lots of germs are
yes.
floating around.
Yes.
And I happened to be in the grocery store waiting in line and see Dr. Oz, a magazine. And I was just flipping through, and I found there's actually like a wellness section in there. This issue, and I thought, oh, I knew we were going to be talking about this. And so reading through it, it's so many of the things that you've already brought up and about, you know, to adopt as healthier habits. But the candy dish or the fruit bowl, even making sure that our hands are clean prior to dipping them in there. Otherwise, we're sharing
Yes.
so many germs
Oh.
in that bowl you don't even know
You
it.
don't even
Hold
realize
that thought
it. Yeah.
because we're gonna tackle this in about a minute.
Okay.
We come back right here on Younger Life Live here. Rick Federici, Mary Anthony, Katie Sarver, of course, and we are streaming just so you guys know. So we'll be right back here in about a minute or so on Younger Life Live. Thanks for tuning in, of course, today with WIMS as well.
This is Dave Ramsey. You can hear the Dave Ramsey Show weekdays from 1 to 4 p.m. right here on AM 1420 WIMS, the talk of the South Shore, and online at WIMSradio.com.
Hey guys, watch my new bike trick. Whoa!
Accidents happen. When they do, LaPorte Hospital can help you get on the road to recovery faster. With our 30 minutes or less ER service pledge, we will work to have you initially seen by a medical professional in 30 minutes or less. Less waiting. 30 minutes or less ER service pledge at LaPorte Hospital. During a medical emergency, every minute matters. That's why, at LaPorte Hospital, you'll find less waiting where you need it most, in our emergency room. In fact, we will work to have you initially seen by a medical professional in 30 minutes or less. And because we're a full-service hospital, we can provide more care if you need it. Less waiting, faster care. The 30 minutes or less ER service pledge at LaPorte Hospital.
All right, we are back, ladies, on Younger Life Live here on our radio partner, AM 1420 WIMS, streaming at WIMSradio.com. Don't forget about the free TuneIn Radio app. Federiki Anthony and Katie Sarver.
That's right.
Woo!
That's right.
So before we went to a real quick timeout, you guys were talking about all the craziness going on sometimes in the workplace. And I want you guys to delve a little bit into that. That would be absolutely incredible. So Katie, tell us a little bit about potential harm. And then you said Dr. Oz article and stuff going on.
I
This
was
is
reading
crazy.
about the bowl of fruit versus the bowl of candy, which I think is genius. And I think I applaud that department for trying it.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think
Yeah.
that could be catchy really easily.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's
It's an easy
better
fix.
for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Right.
It is concerning with germs this time of year.
Yes.
So, as far as adopting more habits for wellness in the
Mm-hmm.
workplace, how can we best arm ourselves?
Well, there's lots of things. First and foremost, post signs for your colleagues that say, or your employees that say, wash your hands, please.
No, you're
because,
right.
I
You
mean,
think
so
it's funny?
I know,
Right.
yeah,
As an employee,
I agree.
That, a lot of times we think such a simple task, but you have to remind people sometimes because you can go all day, you're touching pens, you're working on your computer. I'm going to go grab my piece of fruit
Phones,
right now.
keyboards,
they carry the
desks.
Can I say
Doorknobs.
a stat that I thought was insane? It says, keep your workspace clean. This
Mm-hmm.
is right along this. The average desk harbors hundreds of times more bacteria than a toilet seat.
Oh, man.
And it said that's pretty gross,
Well,
right?
Think about it.
And think
you
about
know,
everybody
makes
putting their
perfect
sandwiches
sense.
down.
Yeah. Oh.
Their apples.
It makes perfect sense though when you really
I'm a
think about
germaphobe.
it.
Come on now.
Right.
See, I'm typically not a germaphobe, but you think that makes sense.
Yes.
It really does, and that's
Yes.
crazy. But the littlest things, besides the pens, someone's on the phone or someone has an itch in their eye, which
Wow.
is not.
Rick's like freaking
Oh,
out
I'm
right
just
my
now.
saying,
eyes
so
are
easy. I
watering.
can see,
You know what I mean? It's like,
Right?
some people are,
Yeah.
Can I throw this out there to you as moms? And I know we are all like this now. I know that we here in Younger Life Live, and I know we chatted about this offline for a moment here with Younger Life Live, brought to you today by the LaPorte Hospital. We thank you through the end of the year. The Lysol wipes, the Clorox wipes. I'm not promoting any products, but those
types.
disinfectant type wipes. Do you ladies use those for your family or no?
Yeah, we do.
Yes.
We do too,
Yeah,
in our home.
It's most of the time we'll just get the spray and spray
Yes.
it, wipe and then
Same kind of
throw
thing,
away.
yeah.
But same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're good. Even in the schools they use those to wipe. Depending on what the policies at your workplace are, so you might want to check on those. Some workplaces don't allow you to bring in those things and they have to be purchased through, your environmental services department or whatever. And that's for safety of the people who are working there. So, so you might want to check with your employer first.
Yes,
but,
that's a good
bring
point.
those in, wipe your desk down first thing in the morning. If you're getting
I mean,
ready to
you
eat
have to
something.
pick up your phone set. I'm
Sure,
showing this like
yeah.
wipe it down.
Yeah, wipe it down. Yeah. I mean, even if it's just you using that phone, germs are still there.
When you
put
still
them
come in
on,
contact
so.
with so many people and so many germs
Yes,
everywhere.
Right, exactly.
I mean,
You know,
everywhere.
you got airborne
And that's
germs
okay.
and- yeah,
I mean,
so- yeah.
it's okay that we do. Our bodies are designed to fight that
Correct.
off.
Yes.
But we have to make sure we are taking care of our bodies to be able
Correct.
to do that.
Yep. Yeah.
And so
Yes.
eliminate some of that stuff. Why in the world would
Right.
you want to, like Rick mentioned, put your apple down on your desk and then pick it back up?
Well,
knowing
now, if
how
you
many
said that,
germs
I
you
don't
just
want to do
stuck
that.
right.
Stuck in your
Well,
mouth.
just
Mama?
getting away, I think, from your desk when you're eating
Yeah.
is a big
Yes.
thing too. Like that's, we all are guilty of it. We lunch at our desk.
Absolutely.
I'm definitely a guilty person.
Everybody.
Guilty as charged.
Definitely.
We shouldn't be doing. You need that break. You need to break away. That's part of being healthy, rejuvenating, refreshing your mind. All of those sorts of things. And so really kind of honing in on what habits can I break that could make me healthier. Those are things that you need to think about every single day.
And you want to know what I think? If everybody took that one piece of advice, whether you're a small, medium, or large box business, and you say, guys, in our staff meeting, here's what I want you to do. No more eating at the desk. Take your break and just go relax.
Yes.
I don't want to. Go relax.
Yep.
And I think that's a great place to start.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just to kind of get people flowing.
And I think employers would see that productivity would increase and decrease, sick days and those sorts of things would all kind of come down the line from all of, just that one simple step. We too often think of, we've got to, pound out whatever it is that we're doing in our job, and we've got to get this done, and we've got to get this done, and we just don't have time for somebody to take. That's not right, though. That person needs the break. You cause so much stress, and that causes sickness, and that causes somebody to not want to be healthy, and that causes somebody to be unhappy. And a lot of research shows that happy people have, and so it coincides, and then like for us, we're in a care.
Certainly, healthcare.
So we're providing care to people. So if we have happy, healthy employees, they're going to provide outstanding care, right? And so that's kind of, we've taken upon that approach, and we have an outstanding comprehensive wellness program for our colleagues that a large number of our colleagues participate in every year. So we're very fortunate to have that. And it's interesting to think about. There are a lot of organizations out there that support health in the workplace. And there's outlets for you to get assistance with that. For example, on our end, we have our workforce health group. And so they have clinics in Valpo, Portage, South Bend, and LaPorte. And they offer, a variety of different things, occupational health, but also wellness services too. And so, that's a really good thing for an employer that might not have anything available and is looking to do something.
Or doesn't even know where to start.
Give them a buzz. And I'm more than happy to share that phone number
Could
today.
you please?
It's an toll-free 844-424-0200, and that's for our workforce health group. Outstanding group of people. I can say that from experience of working with them and assisting in different things that they do out in the industry. Great crew that
Does
they
it
have.
cost any money?
So it would cost money for the organization, yes. Yep.
Okay, cool.
So, and that just is all dependent upon what are the needs of the organization. Organization is too big. That's what's awesome about it. So, and just thinking of what can my employer do for us? Be proactive there. If you have an idea, take it to your employer. And say,
absolutely. I'm always surprised when someone has great ideas, but don't share them.
They're too afraid.
Specifically at the hospital, something that I loved and found very unique about when I worked physically in the building there. They had a program. It's been years now, but if you had an idea, you could submit it, and you didn't have to put who you were, but you could, and so they get reviewed and periodically. And I think that's somebody's a little embarrassed or they think this is too small of an idea. Surely they would have already thought about it and just must not want to. But that's not always the case.
And you're right. More often than not, no one has brought that. Maybe somebody in your administrative team has thought of it, but has thought, well, is it something that, colleagues would be interested in doing, or employees would be interested in doing? And so we kind of have to work as a team on that. What's going to work best? Would people come to Lunch and Learns? Try it out. You work in a facility where you have the education behind you or you reach out to an organization that can do it. So often our community members willing to collaborate with you.
Oh, absolutely.
We collaborate with everybody.
I know.
And that is collaboration that takes place in the ability to say, let's do this. Let's, present on topic X, Y, or Z. Have people come in during the lunch hour. If you have different shifts, sure, schedule it out so that all of those people can. And that in and of itself can really, it can harbor healthier habits. It can make somebody realize that, I didn't know it was that simple. I think we think about health and wellness and health and well-being and something time to do and so much. It's just a change in thinking and bottom line. That's
Well,
what
I think the partnership that you just mentioned between employer and employee, being efficient and
Yes.
the most productive and happy. We all know that a bad attitude can be contagious, just like a good
absolutely.
attitude can be contagious.
Yes.
It's so true. I've worked with people in many different places
Right.
that have, you love to work with because of the positive energy, but the one person you get in there that constantly is unhappy in their work, or
I call
unhappy
them
with their
negative
lives.
Nancy's.
Negative
or
Nancy's, yeah.
Negative
Well, it's
Nancy's or
very
Debbie
true,
Downers.
but you
Yes,
feel
yeah.
that. You feel that, and it
You so
certainly
do.
is contagious.
It affects everybody.
and you
Yes.
see that as far as in the daily life. But
Yeah.
aside from those things, I had some things I was curious. I would like your opinion on. When you mentioned breaks, it's funny because even though employers, say they encourage that, sometimes the employees were the ones that say, I can't get up right now, but you should. And what is your take on, I know not everybody has it available, but if you can get some outside fresh air, even if it's for 2 minutes, that the statistics behind that are kind of shocking
Yes.
as far
Is
as
it past where all the
walk-in
people are
meetings.
smoking in front of the building?
Yeah,
I'm not being a jerk.
That's the other
That's-
thing I was going to say.
that's
Smoke-free
another one.
policy, tobacco-free
Yes.
policies in the workplace is essential, in my opinion. We
I
have one
agree.
at the hospital.
I agree.
Our grounds are not, but yes, fresh air, walking meetings. Walking meetings.
Oh, I like
Get up and
that.
go.
That's good.
You're working. You're still doing your thing. I mean, get
Multitasking.
multitasking right there.
At its
How better
best.
does yes.
Yeah.
So really just being able to get out, and if you have, a campus or whatever you're doing, get away, step out, get that fresh air.
Could you imagine us doing like on our 15 acres out here at Younger Life?
I'd love it. Let's
I
go
would
for
love
it.
it.
I
Let's
love
go.
Get lost, right? Yeah.
It's my favorite
this on the
thing
road.
to chat and walk.
Oh, yes.
I agree.
For
Exactly.
one, you're getting in
Yeah.
crazy good steps,
Yes.
especially if you're at a brisk pace.
Miss
It doesn't matter if
Fitbit,
you're
yeah.
like, if you're like, whatever, you're still, that's good. That's
Right.
productive. I love that.
Yeah.
That's fun. Another great point that I read, and I would like your opinion too on, is drinking more water.
Yes.
We hear this in normal, dietarily, where
Mm-hmm.
you're constantly saying when you're trying to watch what you're eating, or it's just good for your digestive system. It's good all the way around. Drink water.
Yep.
I didn't realize though that it also increases so much of your productivity in general because
Well, it keeps you alert too.
Yeah,
You
you're
think
awake
so?
more.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
it's stats
definitely.
prove it.
Yeah, there's
studies.
a lot of studies and research
It's
out
crazy.
there. Yeah.
Because you know what's really crazy? So they say drink water, but limit your caffeine, which, I think, how dare
Right.
they? I love coffee. I drink coffee. I love
How many cups
coffee.
do you have a day?
Oh, honestly, because
Seriously.
I'm trying, probably, I'm drinking out of a styrofoam cup right now. I could easily drink 4 of these.
Okay.
I mean,
Katie?
Well, I drink decaf coffee, so I can't have
And
that.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
I have a baby
It's crazy.
styrofoam,
Yes.
but I have a little bit of my own plastic. So on my ride in, which is 100 miles to the studio,
Mm-hmm.
I'll drink one or I'll use that for the day. But if I drink any coffee past, in my life, 11 o'clock Central in the morning, I will not be able to sleep.
Do you know
at
what's
night.
funny?
I'm not kidding you.
I could
Yeah.
literally drink coffee at night and it doesn't bother me.
That's my wife.
I
She
find
could
it
drink right
relaxing.
before bed.
Well, I was the same way too.
I find caffeine,
Yeah.
I mean, not caffeine, coffee. The caffeine doesn't bother me is what I'm
Yep.
trying to get
Sure.
out.
Yeah.
I could enjoy a cup of coffee in the evening and not have any issues. Now, it's different if I were drinking a pot of coffee. That would be different. But,
Right.
I mean, to say I'm relaxing in the evening in the kitchen.
What's wrong
and
with
I
Mom?
Sip a, yeah. Mom is buzzing around cleaning the
I
house.
love you guys.
out of
Tell
me.
me. I love
When my husband first started working swing shift, I found it very difficult to relax late at night,
Mm-hmm.
or if he was on midnights. I found it difficult to relax late at night when I just felt like it was hard for me to relax.
you were kind of be the security provider.
Well, it's that.
that.
It was definitely like paying attention for anything, but it was also just strange for me to attempt to wind down and go to bed like that. I found that to be very weird.
Right.
That I recall in the very beginning, I literally drank a pot of coffee one night and I was like cleaning windowsills. Like the kids were in bed. I had
Oh my
doors shut.
gosh.
I'm cleaning curtains and windowsills and every like the weirdest things you think of. You
I
don't
love
do.
life.
That's right.
There have been numerous times over the years since then I've thought, I wish I had that motivation, but I just can't do that because honestly, too much coffee or any caffeine
Sure.
I don't really drink a lot of pop, but any too much coffee
I
makes
never
me
drink
sick to
pop.
my stomach. So that night I remember thinking, oh, that was not smart. But I got a lot. I had a sparkling house
Right.
in the morning.
We should do a challenge. So if you're
Okay.
a coffee drinker,
Okay.
substitute that coffee out for a couple of days. Okay, so don't drink it.
All
What
of
are
it?
what are we gonna
and you're going
substitute
to
with?
substitute it just with water.
Okay.
And
Oh,
see
goodness.
how, are you, but it's got to be, you got to drink at least 8-ounce glasses of water during that day and see, am I doing good? Am I still awake at 3:00 in the afternoon, or am I needing that caffeine?
know
Well,
what?
that was
Just
what
to
the
see,
key
yeah,
is that they
how does
claim
it do?
the caffeine crash kind of thing.
Yep. Yeah.
Does it affect
Can't
your
get
sleep?
a water crash.
Now, I guess my biggest
Right?
question from
Yeah.
a guy standpoint, and especially someone that has to watch his waistline now, never ever had to in the first 40 plus years. But they say, I'm saying if you drink caffeine, is it bad for your waistline? I don't know.
I have to
sure.
say, because I'm such a coffee lover, that we
Yes, doctor.
picked apart that study on coffee,
Yes.
and there are numerous benefits to drinking coffee,
Yes.
not excessively,
Oh,
Right.
sure.
clearly,
Yeah.
but there are so many benefits to drinking the coffee, and it isn't the caffeine that is the waist expander, it's the additives we put in it.
Yep.
It's the
cream,
sugar,
the
the
sugar, yep.
creamers,
Yeah.
the some people love like the thick old like whole cream stuff you put in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying whatever, to each his own.
Right.
There's people that put butter in their coffee.
Really?
That's a thing. That's really a thing. Yeah.
Wow.
I've never tried it.
Butter.
But butter in your coffee.
Now I know honey and I
That's
know
an issue.
cinnamon.
Yeah, butter.
For the
Look it up.
waistline, as far as
See,
that.
just see. Yeah.
I just think,
Yeah, I would think that
I mean,
would be.
I don't think I could do that, but yeah.
It would
No.
be funny to see what people all add in their coffee. But I mean, I
absolutely,
think
yeah.
that's where you come into the waist issues is because, and we all know how addictive sugar is.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yes.
I mean, we have discussed so many studies and I have watched so many documentaries on it. It's fascinating to me and staggering and scary that how it chemically alters our brain and our body to crave more and more and more. So, you might think you're not having a ton of sugar, but you add it in there, which I'm guilty of
Right.
adding
do you
it in
still
my
have
coffee.
sugar?
I do sugar. I am a little weird about artificial sweeteners. So I'd rather use sugar, like regular old
My
sugar.
daughters told me that recently again, and I've heard it on both sides about the artificial and again.
See, my husband likes diet pop, and I have seen so
seen
many studies
wicked
and
studies on
read
that.
things just on
Yeah.
how that is not good for you, and that does something chemically also that makes you crave more food and more
Really?
sweet. They say that, so I'm kind of a weirdo
Yeah.
about. I'm too. I don't want to have it, so I try really hard to. If I'm going to have sugar in my coffee, have it be real sugar. I did recently try a sugar-free creamer, and it tastes good, but it makes me nervous because of that
Well, what do you-
artificial.
right.
Yes.
You know what I
so what are
mean?
they
That-
sweetening it with then
Certainly.
at that point?
And it's
Sure.
artificial
Yeah.
sweetener. So that makes me a little more
Right.
apprehensive. But
Right.
as far as the taste, it's been fine.
Yeah.
It's
But I mean,
different.
there's like agave syrup switcher a little bit.
We've done that here.
Yeah.
Our
yeah,
Sanders,
honey.
Mike
Yeah.
Sanders.
Yeah.
He actually, that's what he prefers is agave.
That's how my kids and my husband, when I make pancakes, that's what they put on their pancakes.
Does that taste
Really?
okay?
They like it. I mean, I think it just tastes a little. It's not as sweet, and they don't use very much of it. That's the interesting thing. Like the sweetness of it goes a long
Do
way.
they use butter, margarine, or I can't believe it's not butter, or none of the above?
None of the above.
Okay.
So we don't. Yeah, they don't use any of that. But if we're cooking, or then we just use
Okay,
butter.
so
That's
here's,
what we do, too.
here's what I use in my coffee because I try to stay away from all sugars and then what I call the fake sugars
Yeah.
because I'm so paranoid. But I use at the store they've got the sugar-free vanilla and I say it loosely syrup, but there's zero everything.
Oh, wow.
So 0 sugar, 0 sodium. How good is it? I don't know. I've got a bottle in the other room if you want to look at it. But it's a little baby, and all I do is I pour my coffee, I just splash it in there, and then I put 1% milk on top of that.
Yeah.
So I mean, or skim.
Well, it can't be that
Sure.
bad for you.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So at least I'm feeling, but that's all I have is
Yeah.
like, one big cup.
It's something I really wanted to make sure we fit in before
Sure.
the end of the show when we're
Yes.
talking about our relationships with our coworkers and stuff, and
Yeah.
about how positive attitude is contagious, just like a negative one. The managing stress, I think, is a key, can be a key issue. Home stress. People can bring that to work,
Yeah.
and that can adversely affect their productivity as well as their mood, clearly, and their health.
Right.
Same thing as if you digest too much stress at work and don't
Yes.
you find you don't have healthy practices to manage that, you bring that home and adversely affect your home life.
Correct.
Can you share with us some tips on how we can try to I keep that in check, I guess
Absolutely.
I should say.
One thing that I have with the colleagues that work for me in my department is that if there's stuff going on at home, let's do our best to leave it at the door. And it's a philosophy that I think should resonate with everyone. Don't bring your home life to work.
Agreed.
Don't bring your work life to home.
Agreed.
Because the stresses are completely different in both situations. Now, the majority of organizations have some sort of EAP program, so an employee assistance program.
Okay.
So with that being said, if you have benefits offered at your facility, more than likely, now I can't say for every single organization this is true, but check with your human resources department because they would know for sure. But most places have this EAP service, which is an outside company who can counsel you on different things. It doesn't have to just be work. So that's something, if you've got something going on at home or at work, do that. But on the work side of it, I think it's very important that you share with the people that you work with what's going on at work. If there's something that's bothering you about something that a coworker is doing, just be a grown-up about it and talk to that person.
Agreed.
Good point.
Because why should we just there's so often do we just let that mill in there and then it becomes and it becomes this giant problem that could have been fixed if we just would have said something. So let's say someone they weren't giving constructive feedback on, a project that you were working on.
Yes.
Instead, they were just degrading you and saying, well, I would have done it better, whatever. We get that. It happens. Say
It's
something
not
to
nice,
that. It's
but
not
it
nice.
happens.
It's not
It
nice,
does.
but it happens. Say something to that person. Approach them and say, I just want to express to you that a situation that occurred the other day between you and I'd like you to provide some constructive feedback to me. I felt as though it wasn't going right. It wasn't going well. Be open, be honest. So much stress, I think, comes from the fact that we're too afraid to approach the situation. If there is something going on at work that you are uncomfortable with or that is bothering you to the point of it's, wreaking havoc on your home life or even the stress at work, you have got to address that issue with the appropriate
That's hard.
person.
It can be difficult.
It is.
But
yes.
the relief after that, I would imagine,
It's
But you guys
amazing.
both
You have
know
to
how
do that.
the relief is great, but I'm going to play the other side of it just
Yeah.
because, in a situation sometimes if you approach a management figure or someone that's in the higher ranking than you and they don't like what you say, it may put you in a very, and I'll use this word unique because I use that word a lot, unique position to the point that person that I'm corresponding with via text said that piece of information you gave, they used in their life where having problems at home with my husband, he kept bringing home work.
Sure.
They talked about it. They
Yeah.
pulled it out. But I also think as a couple talking about it, but sometimes it is tough at work because you could be with someone and you could be like, you're trying to help them out, but they constantly have that negative attitude. They're depressed. They're freaking out. And it's like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
You don't want to give up trying because there's a lot of us out there that want to help.
Of course.
But
Right.
then it gets to the point where you get tired.
Yes.
You get tired. I'm just trying to be
Absolutely.
honest.
No, you are 100%
It's true
honest
because you
there.
can't fix
You can't
someone
fix-
else's
yes,
Right.
you
problems.
cannot fix
all the
someone
time.
else's problem.
But
there's one thing. So you have empathy and you have sympathy.
Absolutely.
And if you open up the door to say, if there's anything that I can do to help you, please know that I'm here for you. And the thing is that yes, we say leave the work problem at home. If it's affecting leave the home problem at home, when
Yes.
you come to work. If it's affecting you that much and you feel the need to say to somebody, I have this going on and I need help.
That's it.
That's
There's
the
nothing
biggest
wrong
thing.
with that.
Yeah. How often do we don't ask for help? Guilty is charged right here. There are many times where there's something that I could really, and I don't even want to say to my husband, I need some help.
Yeah.
Like I need help with
Yeah,
this. Or,
you want to say, I got it.
I got it.
I think
because
that's a
I'm
contr-
super mom and super wife and I don't need
Superwoman!
anything. Yeah. Right?
I am very
Guys are
guilty
like
of
that
that.
too, by the
Yeah,
way.
exactly.
Tell you that
Yes.
firsthand.
Every
Yeah.
single one of us, I think, is guilty in one way, shape, or form. So I think it's really putting yourself out there as that person's colleague and
Yeah.
noticing that, that's the thing. How observant are we
That's it.
to other individuals? Do we notice, okay, Mary, I noticed that you're kind of down today. Hey, I just wanted to let you know that you look beautiful today.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
and
yeah,
that's so nice to tell people
it's
when they
just
really are,
one
you know, you can
thing.
tell.
Yeah. And it's amazing that if you notice that somebody's kind of down in the dumps and you say one nice thing to that, one random act of kindness, the mood of that individual can change entirely.
But can I throw this out there too? I think an individual also needs to be able to want to take a step in the right direction. In other words, I could say to someone, I'm here to help you. Let's try to get you help. You offer the help, but they've got to want to help themselves.
They
Because
do.
I've been approached, all my life, whether it was, A, B, or C, you try to help people, but sometimes it's
there
like
is
you
a
just
limit.
don't want it.
There is
you
a
get
limit.
the toot or whatever.
But
you know,
I love, Katie, that you bring up the observant part. I feel like, we've all had coworkers that maybe really, going through a divorce or,
Just
or
stuff.
Yes.
really hard things that I
Yes.
understand why they can't leave them at home, because that's literally all
Affecting
their
them,
focus
right.
is. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I understand that. But maybe you're a person that wouldn't typically say, hey, I noticed you're a little down. But, if it's been a couple days, it's probably time someone say,
Correct.
do you need someone to talk to? I mean, you want to tell me? I'll just be a listening ear.
Yep, exactly.
And sometimes that makes the big difference and will improve their work productivity, their efficiency, and their work mood, which then allows you to be able to focus more on your own work too.
Oh,
and,
yeah. Well, and your closeness with that individual too, because now all of a sudden they can trust you.
That's it, yeah.
Maybe there was that, I don't really know how, but I've got this stuff going on, and I'm here for you.
That's it.
And I think that that's something that when you're in management, it's harder because you've got to deal with the whole, is this going to affect my perception on how that person is? You can't let that get in the way.
Yeah.
You just can't, know. And it's one of those things where you have to be open to the fact that everyone has different opinions. Everyone has different philosophies of how things should be done, and so on and so forth. Be open to that. Be open to the fact that that person might not be willing to go to EAP or to get help from an outside person, but they might be more than willing to chat with you for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a
another great
point.
installment here of Younger Life Live. Big round of applause for Katie Sarver.
Thank you.
Happy
Thank
Veterans
you.
Day. God
Katie
bless
will be
America.
joining us next week, and
What are we
we
gonna
are
be talking about?
discussing heart attacks.
Heart attacks.
It's
yes,
a real
and heart
issue
health,
coming
yeah.
into the holidays. We're
Yes.
curious about the connection there and what we
Yeah.
can do to maybe, watch for signs in loved ones and ourselves. So
Absolutely. I'm looking
Awesome.
forward to it.
Have a great weekend. Thank you,
Thank
Katie.
you.
To you and the
Thank
family.
you.
Enjoy it.
Yes.
Mary, we'll see you again, of course, in a couple
have
of days
fun
on
at
Monday.
the Veterans Day event tonight with
Absolutely.
United Way. That's going to be fabulous. I can't wait to hear all about it. So
Can't wait. Well, on behalf of us all at Younger Life Live, we'd like to thank our LaPorte Hospital for, of course, being a part of this wonderful broadcast sponsorship. I'm Rick Federici.
I'm Mary Anthony.
And I'm Katie Sarver.
Awesome.
AM 1420, WIMS Michigan City, a Girard Media Company station.